once we end the video, I'll catch up with you before we hang up on Skype. So,
No
um,
problem.
okay, cool. So, anyways, what's up, everybody? This is, I don't know what, the 30th time I've been back introducing myself, but I am back here with another very talented artist from the UK, I believe, if I'm correct on that.
That's
Yeah.
correct. Yeah, that's it.
Um, but you've got a nice, easy name for me, Alex Mines. Jay Manchan saying hi to you. David Glass saying hi. So, anyways, you guys are sick of hearing my voice, so let's hear from Alex. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and a little bit of your background when it comes to
Okay,
your
so
work.
yep. No worries. I live in Newport, South Wales, part of the UK. Loved art all my life, but only really been drawing seriously again for perhaps the past 5 years. When I was a kid, up till college years, I drew all the time, non-stop. But then, obviously, alcohol, girls, everything else coming along, all the fun things, and I sort of drifted away from it. And then maybe 5 years ago, my wife sort of bought me an art set. I said, "Do it. Talent there, use it." So I was doing little bits and bobs, sketches, doodles. I did a few small press comics for the UK in the UK. And on the back of that, one of the artists started sharing sketch cards, Star Wars sketch cards. I was like, "What are these? Never heard of them before." Because the market in the UK there is nothing. We have soccer cards and limited Star Wars cards, which are just base sets, and that's it. So I was like, "What's a sketch card?" And he told me about them, told me about tops, a little bit about it, and I thought I can have a go at this. So that was it. So I got some samples together, sent them off, and sort of went from there really. And I was back 2017.
Yeah, that's awesome. So 2017, what was your first set that you worked on then for Tops for Star Wars?
It was Journey to the Last Jedi was the first set. I say that's mid 2017, I think, or I say October 2017.
Hmm.
Since then, I've probably done about 16 sets now over the past 3 years, 3.5 years.
Wow.
So good fun. And I got, well, Holocron's due up soon, and I'll be on that set as well. So it's going well. I love
Yeah.
it.
That's awesome. So, I mean, that's a lot of sets. I know they've been cranking out sets, but I can't imagine you've missed many since then. If you've done 16 of them, do you, on average, would you say how many cards do you typically take to do for each set?
I pretty much take about the minimum of 35 cards, which is probably the lower end. Um, Art is a part-time thing for me. I do have a day job, family, so I have to juggle obviously lots of other commitments outside of the art. But my wife's very understanding, so obviously she, lets me have the time sit away to just get on and do the cards because she knows I love it, and obviously it's fun to do. So you get 35 cards a set. I
Yeah.
seem to be able to maintain the quality
Hmm.
with that quantity, anymore. I think I feel I'd be rushing them, and I'd be doing a disservice to the collectors who appreciate the art.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say, I think the thing that, because they often talk about tight deadlines, when I hear about the artists, they're like, yeah, we only get like 3 weeks to do these and we got to get them back.
Yeah.
Do they give you guys any extra time being in the UK to account for like shipping, or does the shipping move pretty quick, or?
No, because prior to shipping, we have to send over scanned images of the completed cards, and the
Mm-hmm.
deadline for that date is the same for everyone. So
Mm-hmm.
I believe those scans are possibly what go onto Lucasfilm then for approval. Potential, I'm not 100% on that. I believe that's what happened. So there's always a deadline initially for all the artists to submit scanned images on the one date, and then shipping's usually a few days later.
Mm, okay.
So
Well,
yeah,
so like,
so
do you?
realistically,
I
oh,
was gonna say, I know you guys have a group. Like, I'm sure you guys post like, hey, we got our cards in today. Do you guys over in the UK, do you get them later than the US based artists?
yeah, we're always a few days. I know worse off than the US artists, because it's probably two or three extra days shipping. So it's a bit frustrating sometimes when you see the US artists have already completed 10 or 12 cards, and I'm sat there thinking, "Where's FedEx? Where's FedEx?" Come on.
Yeah, I can imagine that would be difficult, and probably in a little way stressful. I Have you ever had
Yeah.
any like get lost on the way? Did they ever get like take way too long to get to you?
No, to be honest, I know FedEx has its critics, but touch wood, I've never actually had an issue yet with delivery of the blank cards. I ever once had an issue with some artist returns were returned, slightly damaged and destroyed, so that was all good. I had some
Yeah,
replacement cards for that, so yeah, that was good.
that'd be a bummer. Well, I'm trying to think, because I think at this point people know that I do a lot of the group breaks in the group, but I'm trying to think if we've pulled anything from yours, and I'm not recalling anything. Um, but did you have a favorite set that you've worked on since you started?
Probably Masterworks 2018 because I had the best card slot going. I had to skip Masterworks 2019 because it was a tight schedule. I had a vacation at the same time, and I had to say no, which was devastating. But Masterworks 2018, they were beautiful cards, and I just really enjoyed all the ones I did there. It was really good stuff. Um, but I like every set, to be honest with you. It's always something different. I know sometimes you get some repetition because if they're tied into the movies, you get a lot of repeat images. But it's fun sometimes to try and do something different, think outside the box, and try and do something which will be different to the other artists. So that's where the imagination comes in and the inventiveness.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you guys are way more creative than I am. David was saying that he certainly appreciates the extra effort that you guys go through. We all do. You and all the artists, we appreciate all the effort you put into the cards. We know that Tops, doesn't pay you what you probably deserve, but we appreciate it because we love the cards that you guys put out there for us to find.
Thank you.
Cyrus is saying, Cyrus Surecat's saying that he was expecting a much thicker accent than what you
Sorry.
got. So, I know. We had Carolyn Craggs on earlier, and she was saying how you guys all have different accents. No matter all
Yeah.
the cities over there, they all have their own different accent. Cyrus has got one of his own, so he was on last night. So. Yeah, Logan's saying, Alex, you handsome devil. I actually said to him, Logan, when we got on, I said, you look like you belong in a Marvel movie or something. So we had a good chuckle about that one. Yeah, anyways, I was commenting earlier on your banner behind you. It looks like it belongs at a con. How often do you typically do cons?
Probably about 3 a year. Usually stay local to where I live. I haven't travelled far to some of the bigger ones. There's the smaller scale ones. I had a couple of good ones lined up this year, but unfortunately, obviously, with the situation at the moment, they've been postponed, not cancelled, postponed. So that's a positive.
Mm-hmm.
So this is my current banner. It is old. It was done probably 3 years ago for the first convention I went to. So I had a limited portfolio of art available to actually create a banner with, but I did something. So I desperately need to update it and get a brand new banner in place. So I've designed it already. It features actually some top stuff, to say I'm a sketch card artist. I work for Tops. I worked on Star Wars, so it sells me a bit better than some old DC and anime characters.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say I can imagine that carries a lot of weight, in the art world, or I would guess so. Now, do you have? I was gonna say, can you give us a little bit of some insight as to how your artwork has changed and progressed? You've been with doing Tops for a while. How has it changed from Journey of the Last Jedi to, your more recent sets?
I think I've picked up a lot of new skills and techniques, probably from working and liaising with the other artists on the sets. We have a close-knit community in the groups on Facebook, and there's always a lot of swapping of ideas and sharing of methods, and from that I picked up a heck of a lot of new things. I think I may have shared you some of the pictures from my Journey to the Last Jedi set, and they were, I would say, basic, but I had limited supplies. I had a handful of pro markers and a couple of coloured pencils, and that was it. So I made the best of what I had. And but I look at those cards now and where I progressed, and I think it's just you develop the skill for working at such a small scale. Previously you guys used to work in letter size and larger, and you shrink all that down to such a small card. And I think over the past, say, 3 years, my art's jumped dramatically. With just little skills you pick up, use different methods, even different media, like the Copic markers. I'm using a lot of those now. I've recently introduced airbrushing, only for backgrounds and a few other bits and bobs, but I think it gives a different, approach again, something slightly different. So yeah, I've developed a lot of skills, I think. Well, I
Yeah.
hope I have it.
I'm sure that I'm sure it's very evident as we'll look at some of your artwork that people will see that. Um, the I was gonna say, do you have anything there with you that you can show us that either whether it's available or not, just kind of shows us some of your artwork?
um,
I was gonna say, I know you sent me a bunch of scans. We'll check those out.
I did. I was probably better with the scans. I've got some one or two blank sketch covers, but they may be on the scans I sent you. So
Okay. Are the blank sketch covers available?
when I say blank, I say I think I sent you images of the Mandalorian ones.
Okay.
There's three of
Oh
those
yeah,
because
yeah, I see them.
yeah.
I'm gonna grab those right now. So let me go ahead and share the screen. Now I know you're probably not gonna be able to see this unless you've got it pulled up on a separate, like Facebook pulled up on something separate. But these look like these ones might be the Journey to the Last Jedi. It might be this first picture you sent. I got a BB-8, a Poe, C-3PO.
That's the ones,
Um,
yeah.
these are from your first set.
Very first cards, very first set, yeah. So I was a newbie then, so obviously find my feet. And I didn't really have a style at that point either, because some of them are posterized. I think one or two of the images, they got like a posterized effect. It was blacks and greys, very monochrome. And a few others with coloured pencils, a few other pens. I was just experimenting, I think, at that point, trying to find a
Yeah.
style and also seeing what other artists were doing and thinking, oh, let's try that. So it's a little bit of everything. But I think I've sort of developed my style a little bit over the past few years now.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's. I mean, there's some black and white on here. I think I know what you're talking about with the posterized. There's like a rectangular background right behind them, and then there's some color on here as well on a couple of the other ones. Skipping ahead to the next. Okay, so these are more Journey to the Last Jedi. It looks like there's a Rey, Phasma, Finn, Han, Kylo. Um, can certainly see what you're talking about, where you're kind of experimenting. There's Kylo's
The,
kind of in black and white, but the background is colored. Phasma's mostly black and white, and then the red like sash. Some of them are more
yeah,
colorful.
it's just yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. I honestly I think that's really really cool. Even though that was your first set and you were experimenting, I think the differences is, I mean, they're very clear, but they're all different and very cool. Next up, there's a mixture on this one. If you remember the pictures that you sent me, it looks like some sort of Rick and Morty, Walking
Yeah,
Dead.
yeah. I think that was just sort of an example of the range of sketch cards I've done. That's probably my favourites across all the sets over the past few years. I've sort of cherry picked my favourite cards, so I think that's what I'm showing there at the moment.
Yeah, awesome. So you work on other stuff besides Star Wars. Um,
Yeah, I work for a few other the card companies, like most of the artists do, I think, and obviously loads of different franchises as well, like Walking Dead, Rick and Morty,
mhm.
DC. But I say Star Wars is the one I've done predominantly.
Yeah.
You
So
see- yeah, good.
he Robert's saying he's got a Amazing Stranger Things Mind Flayer, mind something.
Yeah, I know the ones. Yeah, the Mind Flayer. That's probably one of my airbrush ones. Um, on that Stranger Things set, I did a lot of airbrush work. Only silhouette work, backgrounds. But I do find as well, between the different sets from Tops, Star Wars, set to set, you'll find different quality of the card material you're working on. Some of them are absolutely lovely to work with. Some of them are not so good. Sometimes the markers go blotchy or bleed. I'm not sure what it is. So that's when I do switch sometimes to the airbrush instead, just to get a flat, consistent colour. I think gives, again, a better quality finish, something the collectors may appreciate more. So
Yeah.
I did a lot of that with the Stranger Things because I found the card material there, the card stock was not the best.
um, I just pulled up your scan from, looks like, the Rise of Skywalker Series 1, which is one of the more recent sets, and these are very, very cool. It looks like you did less experimenting with this one and kind of had more of a focus to these. Although I know that it was kind of limited because you guys only had a minute trailer to work with.
Free.
But you've got the Sith troopers, which look amazing, and just the plain background. But I'll tell you, the one that I really really love is the puzzle. It looks like of all of the Star Destroyers on Exegol. Can you tell us a little bit about these ones and like the type of mediums and stuff you used?
Well, I'll say that one in particular, that was one of the airbrush cards. Again, this card stock was not the best, so I did pull the airbrush out for a few of these. And that puzzle there, I actually did 3 of them. There was 3 separate images in the trailer, similar sort of theme. So there was one of the Rebel fleets where they all appear, and there's a background there, so I chose that for one puzzle. Obviously, the Empire there. So yeah, it's good. That was airbrush throughout. Most of the other cards then were Copic marker, fine liners, and then Faber-Castell polychromos pencils, which I use. So my initial process will be I'll pencil out the image, use fine line markers then to set the outline, Copic markers for base colours, and then I'll use the coloured pencils to add details and highlights. And then if needed, I'll add a background with airbrush or again with the markers. But I think that's a consistent style now. Is probably the last 4 or 5 sets is pretty much reflected that sort of technique.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that's. I was gonna say Kai's jumping in here saying he really likes the Rey with the saber, and I mean the lightsaber looks amazing. It's incredible. So, I was gonna say. I had a question. I'm just trying to think of it again. It was related to... Okay, so for the puzzles, do you guys... So when you come up with a puzzle, do you just get to do that on your own? Do they ask you to do that? Do they, do they say...
It's entirely at our discretion. Obviously, we can choose. I think tops prefer, if you do a puzzle, each individual card has to be a standalone image. Because obviously, if they go to each side of the world, this person's the one half a spaceship. It's got to be a consistent standalone card. Which obviously, with these puzzles with the ships I did, you could do that because they're distinct images. I think they also prefer if you have only 2 or 3 cards at the most as a puzzle. I think you go a lot higher, then it's a bit frowned upon. Could be wrong, but I don't see a lot of artists doing more than maybe 2 or 3 card puzzles. It's in our discretion though how we want to do it. Sometimes if like with 1 minute trailers and stuff like that, you're trying to think what can I do to use fill my cards, then they come in handy.
Yeah,
just
well,
very big.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think that's cool too because I know a lot of you guys talk about how difficult or how challenging it can be to draw on such a small card that kind of gives you more room to work with as well. And I mean, it just allows you to be more creative, to be able to come up with 2 standalone images that can be combined together. I scrolled over to the next one. There's some more Stranger Things and Aliens, but there's also Kylo on Exegol and Mustafar from the trailer.
Yeah, that's one of my favourite cards of recent times. Is the blue airbrush background? He's the figure in the top left corner. Yeah, I love that one with just the lightning bolt.
Yep.
I wish I didn't give that away now, to be honest. I sold that a few months ago, and I regret that one. I don't keep many of my cards. I usually just sell everything, but that one is, I really like that one. So.
Yeah, it looks. I mean, it looks just like the stinking trailer. It's crazy. And to say you airbrushed it and then put everything on top of it is mind blowing to me. Okay, so here I've got your comic covers. From The Mandalorian, we've got Baby Yoda, The Mandalorian, and Queel.
Yeah.
What did you use for these ones?
Pretty much the same format as the cards. I say this style now it seems to be consistent. And what I found is working on the cards at such a small scale, when you translate that to the bigger images, such as the comic covers, I think the detail carries with it. So I found my work at a larger scale now was massively improved. Just by working smaller, it scales upwards. So again, for these cards, it's an airbrushed background with Copic markers for the character, fine liner outlines, and then the coloured pencils, and then perhaps a white gel pen just to add the highlights. I say that these blank covers were released probably a few months ago, and I just had to do some Star Wars. Mandalorian was out. It was I thought it'd be fun to draw, so I did a series of 3, and they went pretty quickly. To be fair, after I drew them, I'm
So
just
these are
working
not
now.
available, is what you're saying.
These are not available, unfortunately. I'm working on another set now. I'll show you the Bounty Hunters. So, unfortunately, these aren't available either. But these are ones I just started doing now. So, I'm doing another set of the 6 Bounty Hunters. So, obviously, there's a Bossk there. Do you see that?
Yeah, that looks great.
And then this is the work in progress of Forlom.
Yeah.
You see this, obviously the background's been airbrushed in. And obviously the plan for the weekend now is a public holiday tomorrow is for me to colour this one. So I may post an update in my booth, maybe some updates of the progress.
Well, I was gonna say, I know we've got one of a pretty big Bossk collector just joined the group, and he actually just joined the stream. You said that Bossk is not available, or it is?
It's not, no, but if he looks, there may be other things in my booth. There will be prints of that made available, potentially.
Yeah, definitely. So definitely check out the booth, and we'll plug that here in a minute. Looks like just a little bit more to go through on these scans that you sent me. Boba Fett, J Manchan saying your Boba Fett is amazing. So this one looks like your Women of Star Wars set from the most recent stuff. Some really, really cool cards here. Cara Dune, Enfys Nest, the Puzzle of Leia. Is that a puzzle? No, that must be a booklet.
It's a panoramic card, yeah.
The panel.
Yeah. Double card.
Because I was just, in my mind, I was thinking, wait, you just said the puzzles have to be standalones and we'd just be having Leia's leg. The Pano sketch, this armorer, I can't pronounce it. It looks amazing. I don't know how you get the shine from the helmet. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
That was a lot of pencil work on that. I went down the base colours of the Copic markers, probably just like some light browns. Then I used a lot of like rust brown coloured pencils and just heavily burnished the pencils in there to give it a sort of metallic sheen. You'll probably look at the card closely; it'd be quite dented. The amount of pressure from the pencil work went in there, but I think it worked in the end.
Yeah,
it was that.
It looks incredible. Yeah, and the Cara Dune, I'm sure, is hot. Were any of these your APs? Are they all gone?
I'm trying to think. No, my APs are actually blank, and I've sold all those. Because there's a very tight time scale on this set as well. I think it's about 2.5 to 3 weeks from receipt of cards to shipping. So I did 35 cards for pack inserts, and I kept my 4 APs as blank. In between since the set has been released, I have sold all those now. I actually completed the last one this morning for somebody, so that's going to be shipped out in a few days' time.
So what you're saying is that if we want to get something from you, we got to get in there early, got to get in there quick, or we got to get commission.
I've literally got like 3 Star Wars APs left. I got an old Masterworks one, and I got 2 from Rise of Skywalker Series 1, and that's it at the moment.
Are those on your booth?
They are, yes.
Okay. Let me see if I can pull up some of the stuff that's available quick, because it sounds like you sell out fast.
Yeah, maybe I'm too cheap. I don't know.
I think I would say it's more so the artwork. It's fantastic artwork. So, you put a price on it, people are paying. So, I'm just trying to find.
I do have so I can probably show here if I'm on screen.
Oh yes, I've seen that one before. The Windu.
Yeah, so that's the I think it was Masterworks 2018. And it's these 2 from Rise of Skywalker Series 1.
Oh, we just had that one pulled up on the scan.
Yeah, I think that was on the shot you just showed. Then obviously, where's it gone? That one there.
That one as well, yeah. Ray and
Leia that's all I have available at the moment.
Those are the only 3 you've got available?
Yeah.
That's
all
crazy.
Sets and I'm not complaining.
Yeah, hey, that's a great thing. People are grabbing your stuff quick. Again, guys, if you want to grab something from Alex, you got to get in there fast. Or if not, you do take commissions?
I do, yes. I got a bit of a wait list at the moment because I'm not sure what it is with the this pandemic. Obviously, a lot of people are at home, perhaps browsing the internet, but I seem to have been inundated with commissions in the past few weeks, which is a good thing. So yeah, it's a little bit of a wait list at the moment, maybe 4 weeks. But yeah, like I am taking commissions, so don't mind a few weeks wait. I got a lot of blank sketch covers available, obviously personal sketch cards. I got a few other blank sketch cards, various sets. If you look at my booth, you can see what's there at the moment. Feel free to drop me a message.
Yeah, so I just grabbed your booth again. Here's your looks like your own personal cardstock, which is really cool. I like when you have something on the back, and it kind of looks pretty official. Some comics. Your comics look really really nice. There's a Vader comic that just caught my eye.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find these blanks that you're talking about. Ooh, some different style stuff here. You said you've got blank cards from some of the recent sets.
They're not Star Wars. I think they're a mix of other sets from other franchises.
Okay.
There's a few there. But obviously, take a look. I can't actually will say it at the moment. I think some Rick and
Same here.
Morty's, Aliens, a
Aliens,
few other
yep.
ones. Yeah,
Yeah, so
not a
if you
great
guys are
deal.
looking to get something done, definitely reach out to Alex. If you need something Star Wars, grab a personal sketch card. He's got this awesome card stock of his own. If you're into other stuff, aliens and stuff, grab one of these, from Upper Deck and stuff. So, anyways, let's go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this up because we got to get this workshop going. Hey, I appreciate you coming on, Alex. Did you have anything else you wanted to say to everybody before we move on?
No, that's great. I just want to thank the people who've been to my booth so far. It's been really good. It's a great idea, this convention. I say hopefully it'll happen again in better global circumstances, but I think it's just been a good thing all round to bring obviously everyone across the world, collectors and fans and artists alike, bring them together. I think it's a really good thing. Other than that, just thank you. Appreciate the chance to be interviewed.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, I appreciate you coming on. I've seen your artwork before, and I don't think I've pulled anything, but I've seen it posted in the group, and
Yeah,
always admire it. For anybody who hasn't already done so, go check out the event. Join the TSWCCT card group. Go to the event page. Scroll all the way to the bottom. The entire event is dedicated to the artists and their booths. So scroll all the way down, just like you would walk down the aisle at a convention. Scroll down to the bottom like you're walking down. Check out all the artist booths. Drop in and say hey. If you're unable to buy something, drop them some encouraging words, and certainly go check out Alex's booth. He doesn't have a lot left for you because it all gets snatched up. So if you got something in mind, go commission him to do a card for you. Or something bigger, a comic if you're into that, or anything else. So, thanks again for joining us, Alex. We'll be back here again, guys, in a few minutes with a really exciting workshop. So we'll see you soon.
thank you.